Today's video is actually going to be, oddly enough, basically deja vu for any of you who watched the video I did about 2 months ago. So first things first, about 5 days ago, I posted on my community tab this team right here. Now, when I did this, I forgot that I had made a video on this team before. I guess it's my old age, but either way, I posted this. I didn't leave a link to the video, which is actually not a huge deal because I've learned a lot since that video, and I've also realized that the gear requirements for this team specifically are kind of high. So we're going to be talking about a team like this, talking about the substitutions, and I'm going to try to make this video pretty quick so you guys don't have to stay around for every single minute detail of Hydra to actually just plug this team in and play. Okay, so this team right here was not full auto this run. This run was like semi-auto. This run right here was 100% full auto. No clicking, nothing. I walked away, 71.85 million damage. I'm a happy camper. This run right here, using Molly instead of Cantra, was 37 million damage. Pretty bad, to be honest. But hey, it's one key. It was 14 minutes, and it was full auto. I walked away, came back. I was like, hey, this is good. We'll leave it in the video. This one right here, not full auto, but 87 million damage. Getting close to that 100 mil, which I'm definitely trying to get. So let's go ahead, jump in here. Let me talk to you first about the actual setup. Then we'll talk about the substitutions of the champions, and then we'll go over the gear and everything like that. So the first thing, if you're using Cantra, this is the only time this matters. So Cantra needs at least 5 debuffs on a target to provoke them. So if you start off and you don't get 5 debuffs on the head of decay before you actually provoke, it's going to be a bad day. You're not going to be able to provoke. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now at this point, you could continue the run. Everything could be perfectly fine. Or you could do what I'm doing right now and just reset it. Try it again. Let it go once more. If Cantra misses the provoke, it's just going to make the run be a little bit weird. And yeah, it's easy just to reset it right there at the beginning. I don't know why she missed it again. She literally landed it every other time before I started doing this video. So Cantra, come on. I guess she gets nervous under pressure, or performance anxiety, I guess you could call it. But here we go. Let's try it one more time. 2 debuffs. Okay, there we go. Ugo's not landing all of her debuffs. Guys, we're on the video. Can you just do it one time for me? Come on. One time. So we can actually let this progress along. All right, at the Hex. We got the decreased speed and the leech. There we go. We're looking good so far. And the provoke lands. Good job. All right, so now that we're all on the same page, let's go ahead and talk about everything that happens after this. Tons of debuffs stay up. Geomancer places burns. Everybody does a lot of damage. Husk hits super hard. The team survives because we have strengthened and increased defense from Mithrala plus a big shield. And then Necmo takes more turns than any champion you've ever seen. And the team comes out to be a success. So I'm going to open up RSL Helper and then hope, whoa, give me a second for this. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. There we go. We're looking good now. So I want to do this. Let me know what you guys think about this display and this version of a kind of team showcase, because this will keep it a little more condensed. You can also see what your stat requirements are. You can screenshot this portion right here without getting my head involved and then see the entire team's breakdown. So before we get into the team, let's first talk about the stat requirements. So if you come into the Discord, raid resources and info section, scroll up just a little bit, not too far, you'll miss it. This right here is the sheet that tells you how much accuracy you need and how much resistance you need for whichever difficulty you're doing. So Nightmare, that's the very bottom one. Nightmare, Brutal, Hard, and then Normal. So Nightmare, you need 360 accuracy to land your debuffs against the highest resistance head. And then you need 455 resistance if you want to resist from the highest accuracy head. So if you want to use that for reference, just join the Discord, go to that section, and you got that information all at your fingertips. So now, as far as the champions go, Necmo, to replace him would be replacing the team. You can't replace Necmo, he's too good. Husk, you can replace him with Royal Guard. You can replace him with Acrizia, which is crazy because Acrizia would make the damage go from like 87 million to like 200 million. She is next level insane champion. Acrizia, pretty good substitution. Geomancer, you could possibly replace him, but I don't know why you would. He's such a good champion. So if you have him, use him. If not, you could probably do another max HP champion and you'll probably be okay, but he's a very good champion. If you don't use Cantra, then Geo does bring the decreased accuracy, which is very nice as well. So it's going to be a little more difficult to replace him. And if you do, you may have to build your champions with higher overall resistance. But now Cantra, you can replace her with Molly. You can replace her with Sigmund High Shield, according to Wink 101 in my YouTube channel right here. On my YouTube community post, he says Molly or Sigmund. You can also use Bavald of the Thorn, perfectly fine. He has a big shield. You could probably use most provoked champions, but I do strongly believe that Kantra is just going to be the best. She brings so much to the team with her passive, with her tons of debuffs. She's just such a good champion to have. Mithrala, you'll notice that in the previous version that I did, Mithrala wasn't around. Inquisitor Shamael was instead. This is the version that's very difficult to actually build because your champions have to survive on their own. I mean, they have the leech from Nekmothar, but there's no res champion. There's still no res champion, but now we at least have the big shields, the strengthen and the increased defense from Mithrala, so we're a little bit more tanky. Whereas with Shamael, there's no tankiness. Now, that trade-off does come with a downside, which is no Shamael means you're going to eat those fears. The fears from the Head of Torment, you're going to eat every single one of those, but it's not really a huge deal. If you want to do some manual clicking, it's not going to be a big deal whatsoever, and even if you're doing full auto, you may have to reset the run once or twice, but it's not a huge deal at the sacrifice of having a little bit easier time for your gear. But that's completely up to your account and what you want to do. Let's see if Husk survives here before we continue down the line. Let's go ahead and watch this. There we go. Husk is looking decent so far. Big shield from Mithrala. Hopefully he hits into some leech heads. Let's see. Husk do an AoE, that'd be sick. Okay, no AoE, but some nice heals from that leech. So very, very good job, Husk. Not letting me down on the video. I like it. Next champion is Ugo. Ugo brings the block buffs as well as decreased defense, plus a very big heal on her A3 ability. And technically, I guess if everything goes way wrong, everybody gets one shot, and she's the last person alive. She can res, but yeah, I've never seen her actually res, not with this team, so it's probably not going to happen. Now, as far as the gearing on all these champions, let's start from left to right. Nekmothar. So this is a gear I have him in. Relentless in speed, make him as fast as you can, give him some good HP, good defense. I'd rather 50,000 plus HP, 3,500 defense, speed as close to 300 as possible. I'm only 286. I wish I could have more. You can use Provoke instead of Relentless. I'm just a speed fiend. I love more speed. So extra turns, kind of like more speed. So I went with Relentless instead. Accuracy, make sure it's at least 360, and you're going to be good to go. Counterattack accessories where you got them. If not, refresh accessories are great. But other than that, Nekmo, very solid build. The masteries are as followed. We have War Master, which is very important. Other than that, more turn meter, more survivability, a little bit of extra damage, and your Nekmo should be sitting in a pretty good spot. Obviously, if you can get some good pieces to ascend, that's going to be the most ideal situation, right? So next champion is Husk. With Husk, Relentless plus Immortal. The Immortal brings a little bit extra healing, which is very nice. Any extra healing you can get is going to be incredible. Now, before I move on, let's talk about Nekmo. One more thing. Brimstone is going to be pretty important. You don't need it. I've done it without Brimstone. My Kantra now has Brimstone, and it definitely makes the run a little bit smoother. So Nekmo, Kantra, Mithrala, whoever you have, try to get Brimstone on somebody. It is a big help. As far as the damage dealing champions, I have Cruelty. I guess that's what that is. I'm not for sure. It's the one that reduces the enemy's defense whenever you hit them. So it reduces like to a certain point. I like that one quite a bit. And then Ugo, I would put on Miracle Heal, the one that recovers destroyed HP whenever the champion heals. So as far as Husk gearing goes, we have Immortal plus Relentless, make him fast, make him tanky. Royal Guard, a little more difficult to build, but could do possibly more damage, especially on this rotation 3. But Royal Guard, Acrizia, Husk, all going to be built very, very similarly. Good HP, decent defense if you can get it, good at speed, as high as speed as you can get. 228 for me. I think Relentless is just the best way to go. Good crit rate, obviously 100% is good crit rate. 99% is not good crit rate. Make sure it's 100%. Good crit damage, and then resistance and accuracy. I don't care about him. He can use accuracy for his provoke, but then I'm getting less damage, and he's here for damage, and Geomancer / Kantra are here for the provoke action. So his masteries, War Master, once again, War Master just brings a ton of extra damage, so that's what I have. And then everything else is just typical damage dealer masteries. I may be able to change these, but so far they've worked out pretty well for me. Honestly, some of these are kind of useless. Honestly, most of the support masteries he has are useless right now, so getting defense masteries would actually be quite a bit better for him. So I may change that, but I'm pretty happy with the damage that it does, so maybe we don't. How's the team doing so far? Very well so far. So the next champion is Geomancer. Geomancer provoke set. The reason why provoke is so good with him, because he uses A1 ability and then he uses A3. He uses an AoE every turn, and then he uses an ability that doesn't hit anything. So the AoE ability helps him fill in the gaps where Kantra lacks. So if Kantra misses, then Geomancer can possibly fill that in. But if you don't have Provoke, you don't have to use that. You can definitely use Relentless, which is the next best thing. Or I've seen people use just Speed and Perception. It can work, but it's going to be better if you have Provoke or Relentless or some actual set bonus set. Revenge accessories are great, but they can also be a little bit problematic, especially when the Head of Torment is up, because he's going to counterattack, get feared on himself, and then not place his burn, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. He stays feared most of the time anyway, so it's kind of just RNG at that point. His HP, 54,000. Once again, 50,000 plus HP. The goal of 3,000 defense. Good speed, close to 250 if possible. But we have Necmo. He's going crazy fast, so it doesn't really matter their speed because Necmo is going to make up for most of it. Well, you don't have to be right at 250. You still want to be fast, but 233 is doing good. 360 accuracy, perfectly fine. And the masteries as follows. War Master, very, very good, because you'll be surprised at how many times I free champions by using his A1 ability, just his AoE ability. And it actually frees champions on all my AoE champions. It's so good, okay? Having War Master, very much needed on a lot of these champions, okay? Especially if you want to really push your Hydra damage. Next champion let's talk about is Kantra. So Geomancer got everything there. Kantra, she is in Guardian and Accuracy gear. Let's click on her. Guardian plus Accuracy, because she brings the Provoke. She doesn't take a lot of damage. She's got good defense, good base stats. So I'm like, hey, might as well throw her in something that's going to help the rest of the team survive. So get her good HP, 50,000 plus once again, 3,000 plus defense, 250 speed is very, very good. I have 100% crit rate. The only reason why I have that is because I could. If I couldn't get it, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it makes a small enough difference that I want to have it. So I was able to get it, make everything else work out well, so I have it. And then also 360 plus accuracy, and she's doing great. You want her to be pretty fast because the Head of Decay, sometimes you'll miss those provokes. So if Kantra can come back around, it's going to give you a chance to actually keep that provoke applied. So you want her to be fast. It's very, very important. So there we go. That is Kantra. War Master, once again, that A2 ability actually racks up quite a bit of damage from War Master. And then the typical support debuff champion masteries. Next champion is Mithrala. Now, Mithrala, Duchess, Elva, Inquisitor Shamel, really, this is kind of a flex spot. Any champion you put here is going to be basically built to survive, support, and yeah, do their role. So my Shamel was Guardian, pretty slow. He was my Mischief tank. I don't have a Mischief tank right now, but Shamel was my Mischief tank. Slow, Blood Shield, and then basically just survivable, but he still died, unfortunately. But my Mithrala is 297. This is my Arena Mithrala. She's pretty fast, obviously, and it actually is very beneficial because she gets back around to her shield, her cleanse, and their A2 ability very, very frequently. Her masteries are more for Arena, not set up for this, so it is what it is. You can throw in a ton of different champions here, and it should work perfectly fine. So this slot is basically your one flex spot. And then Ugo is Relentless once again, which is actually very, very good. Very good set for Ugo to have because she's getting back around to more decreased defense plus block buffs, sorry. And she's getting more of that heal from her A3 ability. That A3 ability has saved me more times than I can count. It's just so good. That cleanse plus the heal based on her max HP. So with Ugo, you're going to value HP more than defense. Stack that HP up as much as you can get it, and then make her speed faster than Kantra ideally, because you're going to want to make sure in the very beginning, like I've shown you guys before, that as soon as Kantra is getting her turn, the Head of Decay, if it's in the rotation, has at least 5 debuffs already applied. So Ugo going before Kantra is going to make it that much easier. After the speed, we get her at least 360 accuracy. We do have the mastery right here, gives her an extra 20, plus the one that gives her an extra 16, I think Swarm Smiter. So that's going to give her close to that 360. I've not seen her get resisted, so it's going to be perfectly fine. So there's Ugo. Ugo, Miracle Heal, put it on her, should be great. And then other than that, yeah, hopefully this gives you guys all the breakdown you need. The video is 15 minutes long, which is longer than I expected it to be. But let me know what you think about this version of kind of doing the breakdowns versus actually going in there and showing the champions, showing it in RSL Helper as the team runs in the background. This hopefully can give you guys a little bit of a quicker explanation so you guys can just plug in and play. If you don't really care about my explanation, you can just look at this and say, hey, these are what I need. This is what's going on, versus scrubbing through the video to each little section, trying to find the stuff. So hopefully that's everything you guys need. Hopefully this video done better than my previous one as far as explaining things. The team with Shamel is difficult to get to survive. You do have to be very specific with the gear. But taking out Shamail, plucking him away from the team, and throwing in Mithrala, Duchess is going to be really good. Siphi, I think, is going to be even better. Throwing in Elva could even be good as well. Throwing in champions like that, going to make the team do a lot better overall. I think I may try throwing in a Siphi. She brings in some extra heals. She brings in a chance to cleanse that fear. She brings in, yeah, some of res, which would be nice to have, I guess. Same thing with Duchess. But hey, here we go. We got 46 million damage on full auto. And yeah, I guess I'll let you guys sit here and enjoy this. I'll go ahead and bounce out of here or just fade out, I guess. Boom. There we go. All right, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you all very much for watching. Enjoy the remainder of this Hydra run. Hopefully it's a pretty good one. Maybe if it goes to 100 million, I just save it. So best of luck. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. I'm more than happy to answer it. Hopefully you guys don't mind the redo of this team. I think it's a lot more information provided this time and things you can change in the previous version. So with that said, enjoy the run, and I will catch you all next video.